Most men make the same mistakes when a woman loses interest. They panic, chase, overcompensate, or try to fix things. But the truth is, once a woman starts pulling away, your reaction determines whether she comes back or disappears for good. This is where most men fail, because they don't understand that attraction is not built through words or persuasion. It's built through emotions, experiences, and how she perceives your value. A woman losing interest doesn't mean the game is over. It's a test of your confidence, emotional control, and ability to remain a high-value man no matter what. Most guys fail this test because they get desperate, needy, or weak. They think they need to explain themselves, seek closure, or prove their worth. But that only makes things worse. The more you try to pull her back, the more she will resist. The more you chase, the faster she runs. So, what should you do instead? The key is to avoid the mistakes that destroy your chances and instead handle the situation with quiet strength. The way you respond should make her question why she ever lost interest in the first place. Your mindset should be this: I am the prize. If she doesn't see it, I won't force her. That energy alone shifts the dynamic and makes her reconsider. In this video, I'll break down the 7 biggest mistakes men make when a woman starts losing interest. If you avoid these, not only will you regain control of the situation, but you'll also make her feel drawn to you in a way she never expected. Let's get into it. I've created a community on Podium where I break down everything you need to know, step by step. You'll get no-nonsense practical advice that will boost your confidence and help you build stronger, more meaningful connections. And the best part? The first 20 people who join will get an exclusive discount. So don't hesitate, click the link in the description to grab your spot. If you know someone who could use this, share it with them. 1. Chasing her for attention. The moment you start chasing a woman who is losing interest, you are guaranteeing that she will never see you the same way again. Women do not respond to pressure, they respond to presence. A man who constantly calls, texts, and begs for her time is a man who loses his value in her eyes. She needs to feel that you are a man with options, a man with control, and a man who doesn't need her validation to feel important. When a woman starts pulling away, most men panic. They think if they just reach out more, remind her how much they care, or try to convince her to come back, things will go back to normal. But the truth is, the more you chase, the more she will withdraw. This is because chasing is an admission of weakness. It tells her that you are not the man she once admired, but a man desperate for her approval. Women do not respect men who beg for their attention. They are drawn to men who stand firm in their own value. The strongest move you can make is to do the opposite. When she starts pulling away, you step back. You match her distance with silence. If she takes 3 hours to text back, you take 6. If she cancels a plan, you do not try to reschedule immediately. You let her feel your absence instead of forcing your presence. This is the moment when she starts questioning herself. She starts wondering why you are no longer chasing, and that curiosity creates attraction. A practical example is this. Imagine you are in a store looking at a product you are not sure about. If the salesman starts following you around, pushing you to buy it, you instantly lose interest. But if he steps back and lets you decide on your own, you suddenly become more curious. Women work the same way. When she feels you are always available, she loses interest. But when she senses you are unbothered, her mind starts pulling her back toward you. The lesson here is simple. Let her come to you. If you chase, you push her further away. If you step back, she will either realize your value or make space for someone who truly sees it. Either way, you win. 2. Seeking closure from her. One of the biggest mistakes a man can make when a woman loses interest is seeking closure. The need for an explanation, a reason, or a final conversation is a sign of emotional weakness, and women instinctively pull away from that energy. A high-value man does not ask why she changed her mind. He does not beg for answers. He accepts reality and moves forward without hesitation. The truth is, most of the time, a woman herself doesn't even fully understand why she lost interest. Attraction isn't always logical, it's emotional. And emotions change based on how a man carries himself. If you ask her, What happened? Why are you acting different? Can we talk? You are giving her more reasons to justify pulling away. Even if she gives you an answer, it will not help you. In fact, it will only make you more frustrated because it will never be the full truth. Women do not respect men who need emotional reassurance. They respect men who remain calm and unaffected. When she sees that you are unbothered by her change in behavior, it forces her to rethink her decision. If you act desperate for closure, she knows she has full control over you. She knows you are waiting on her to give you permission to move on, and that makes her attraction disappear completely. A practical example is this. Imagine a job interview where you were one of the top candidates, but they decided to go with someone else. If you send them multiple emails asking, "Why didn't you pick me? What could I have done better?" You look weak and desperate. But if you simply move on and continue improving, they might realize they made a mistake later. It works the same way in relationships. If she feels you have moved on without hesitation, she starts questioning her decision. She starts thinking, "Did I misjudge him? Why isn't he chasing?" That's when the power shifts. The best response when a woman loses interest is no response. Do not ask for an explanation. Do not look for closure. Simply disappear and let her wonder. If she still has feelings for you, this silence will make her feel them even more. And if she truly does not want you, then nothing you say would have changed that anyway. Seeking closure is a trap that keeps men emotionally stuck. The strongest men know that real closure is not given. It is created by moving forward without looking back. 3. Trying to change her mind. One of the worst things a man can do when a woman loses interest is to try and convince her to stay. The moment you start trying to change her mind, you automatically lower your value. Women are not persuaded into attraction. They are emotionally drawn into it. The more you try to talk her into liking you again, the more unattractive you become. Most men make this mistake because they believe that if they just explain themselves better, remind her of how good things were, or prove their worth, she will suddenly change her feelings. But attraction doesn't work like that. A woman's emotions shift based on how she perceives your strength, confidence, and independence. If she feels that you are desperate to keep her, she loses all respect. The moment she senses that you are trying to win her back, she knows she has complete control over you. And that control kills her attraction. A high-value man never tries to convince a woman to choose him. He knows that his worth is not up for debate. If she cannot see it on her own, then he has no interest in proving it to her. When a woman loses interest, your best move is to accept it and continue living as if nothing changed. Your silence and detachment send a stronger message than any words ever could. A practical example is this. Imagine you are shopping for a car and the salesman keeps pushing you, trying to convince you how great the car is. The more he talks, the less interested you become. But if he confidently states the car's value and then steps back, you start to wonder, maybe this car really is special. Maybe I should take a second look. This is how attraction works. Women are drawn to men who know their worth and refuse to beg for attention. The best strategy when a woman pulls away is to show her that you are unaffected. Do not try to fix things. Do not try to remind her of the good times. Do not ask, "What can I do to make this work?" Instead, shift your focus onto yourself. Improve your life, work on your goals, and surround yourself with people who value you. When she sees that you are thriving without her, she will start to question her decision. She will wonder why you didn't fight for her. And that curiosity will make her think about you more than any words ever could. The strongest position a man can take is this. If she wants to go, let her go. If she realizes she made a mistake, she knows where to find me. That mindset alone makes you 10 times more attractive than any man who tries to convince her to stay. Women always come back to men they cannot control. The moment you stop trying to change her mind is the moment she starts thinking about you again. 4. Being overly available. A woman cannot miss what she always has access to. One of the worst mistakes a man makes when a woman loses interest is making himself too available. He answers every text immediately, picks up every call, and tries to prove that he's still there, hoping she will appreciate his consistency. But in reality, this kills her attraction even more. Women are drawn to men who are slightly out of reach. A man who is busy, focused, and living his own life creates a sense of mystery and excitement. When a woman starts losing interest, your best move is to pull back and let her feel your absence. If she texts you, take your time to respond. If she asks to see you, don't drop everything to be with her. When you make yourself less available, you force her to wonder about you, and that curiosity builds attraction. Most men operate out of fear. They believe that if they are not constantly present, she will forget about them or move on to someone else. But the reality is the opposite. A man who is too available sends a message that he has nothing else going on in his life. Women do not respect men who seem like they are waiting around for them. They respect men who have a purpose beyond the relationship. A practical example. Imagine you have a favorite TV show, but now the episodes are available 24/7 and there's no wait between seasons. At first you enjoy the access, but soon the excitement fades. Now, imagine that same show releases new episodes only once a year. Suddenly, every episode feels special. You count down the days. You think about it more. That's exactly how attraction works. When a woman sees you constantly available, she stops valuing your time. But when she has to work to get your attention, she starts appreciating it again. This is why men who focus on themselves and build their own lives naturally attract women. They are not sitting around waiting for female validation. They are busy growing, achieving, and moving forward. And that makes a woman respect them. The more she sees you doing your own thing, the more she starts wondering about you. And the more she wonders about you, the more she wants to be around you. The lesson here is simple. Scarcity creates value. If you are always available, you become predictable and unexciting. If you pull back and make her earn your attention, she starts to see you differently. She remembers why she was attracted to you in the first place. A high-value man never places a woman at the center of his world. He is the center of his own world, and she is lucky to be a part of it. That is the mindset that makes women chase. 5. Acting emotionally reactive. Nothing makes a man look weaker in a woman's eyes than acting emotionally reactive when she loses interest. The moment you start arguing, complaining, or showing frustration, you confirm to her that she made the right decision by pulling away. Women do not lose interest because of one bad moment. They lose interest because over time, they stop feeling the same attraction they once had. And the way you react to that shift determines whether she ever comes back or walks away for good. Most men let their emotions take control when they sense a woman pulling away. They start overanalyzing everything. They question why she's acting differently. They send long texts, demand answers, or show visible frustration. Some even try to guilt her into staying, saying things like, "I've been there for you and now you're just leaving." But none of this works. In fact, it pushes her away even further because it shows a lack of control. A woman does not respect a man who lets his emotions dictate his actions. Women are emotional by nature, but they are drawn to men who are stable and unmoved by drama. If you react emotionally when she distances herself, she sees you as weak. If you remain calm and detached, she starts questioning her own behavior. Your emotional control is what separates you from every other man who chases after her when she pulls back. A practical example. Imagine you are negotiating a business deal and the other person suddenly starts losing interest. If you panic, beg them to reconsider or start complaining, they know they have all the power. But if you stay calm and act as if it doesn't bother you, they start rethinking their decision. They start wondering why you are so confident. That's when they start second-guessing themselves. This is exactly how a woman's mind works when it comes to attraction. If you act desperate, she knows she has complete control over the situation. But if you remain cool and unaffected, she starts questioning whether she made the right choice. The best response when a woman pulls away is to remain steady. Keep your emotions in check. If she stops texting as much, don't react. If she starts seeing you less, don't bring it up. If she gives you attitude, don't argue. The more you remain unshaken, the more she starts noticing. And if she still has any feelings for you, your ability to stay calm will make her rethink her decision. A high-value man never allows a woman's actions to control his emotions. He controls his own frame. He does not chase. He does not beg. And he definitely does not let a woman's temporary loss of interest change the way he carries himself. Women respect men who remain stable under pressure. And the moment you prove that you are that kind of man, she will start feeling something for you again, whether she admits it or not. 6. Trying to remind her how good you were to her. A woman does not feel attraction based on logic. She does not sit down and make a list of all the nice things you did for her and then decide to stay interested. Attraction is emotional. And one of the biggest mistakes men make when a woman starts losing interest is trying to remind her of how good they were to her. They bring up the past, saying things like, "After everything I've done for you," or "You'll never find someone who treats you like I do." But none of this makes her want you more. In fact, it pushes her away even further. The moment a man starts listing his good deeds, he shows weakness. He is trying to negotiate his way back into her heart. But attraction is never about negotiation, it's about emotion. A woman does not stay interested in you because you are good to her. She stays interested in you because she feels something for you. And once that feeling starts fading, your kindness and generosity become irrelevant. A practical example. Imagine a restaurant that used to be your favorite. At one point you loved going there, but over time, the excitement faded. Now imagine the restaurant owner starts begging you to come back, saying, "But we gave you great service. We always treated you well." Would that make you want to go back? No, because your decision was not based on logic. It was based on how you felt about the experience. This is exactly how attraction works in relationships. Once a woman's feelings change, reminding her of how well you treated her will not bring back her desire. A high-value man understands this and does not waste time trying to convince a woman to like him again. Instead, he focuses on himself. He does not argue about his worth. He lets her feel it through his actions. When a woman starts losing interest, the best move is to pull back and let her experience life without you. When she no longer has access to your presence, she will naturally start remembering the good things about you on her own. But if you try to force her to see your value, she will only feel pressured and move further away. Women respect men who know their worth without having to prove it. When you do not chase or beg, you communicate confidence, and confidence is what makes a woman reconsider. If she truly valued what you brought to her life, she will realize it when you stop making yourself available. But if you constantly remind her of the past, you become just another guy trying to convince her to like him. Never try to make a woman feel guilty for losing interest. Let her go, focus on yourself, and let her come to her own realization. That is how you regain attraction. Not by talking about your worth, but by living in a way that makes her recognize it on her own. 7. Staying available to her. One of the worst things a man can do when a woman loses interest is to remain constantly available to her. A woman must feel your absence to realize your value, but most men do the opposite. They stay in her life, waiting, hoping she will change her mind. They answer her texts immediately, keep hanging out with her, and act as if nothing has changed, even when she clearly treats them differently. This is a weak move. It tells her she can have you whenever she wants without putting in any effort. A woman's attraction grows in uncertainty. When she knows she has full access to you, she loses the motivation to chase. But when she feels your absence, when she wonders where you are, who you're with, and why you're no longer giving her attention, that's when her mind starts working against her. She starts second-guessing her decision. She starts remembering the good times. She starts feeling like she might have made a mistake. But that only happens when you create distance, not when you stay in her orbit like a lost puppy. A practical example. Imagine you own a luxury car that you drive every day. Over time, it stops feeling special because it's always there. Now, imagine that car is suddenly taken away from you. You would immediately feel the loss. You would start missing it, thinking about how good it was, and wishing you had it back. That's how women feel when a man who once gave them attention suddenly stops being available. The absence creates longing. The longing creates attraction. But if you keep making yourself present, she never gets the chance to feel what life is like without you. The problem is that most men are afraid to walk away. They think, if I stay close, she might come back. But this never works. It only confirms to her that she has full control. Women respect men who are not afraid to lose them. A man who can walk away without hesitation communicates power. He is not controlled by his emotions. He is not waiting for her validation. And that kind of confidence is exactly what makes her rethink her choice. What should you do instead? Disappear. If she stops calling, stop calling too. If she stops making plans, stop making plans. If she pulls away, do not chase. Instead, focus on yourself. Invest in your life, your goals, and your purpose. The moment she sees that you are fine without her, that's when she starts questioning everything. She will start wondering, why isn't he trying to get me back? And that curiosity alone is enough to make her reconsider. Women do not regret losing men who are always available. They regret losing men who can walk away without fear. The strongest position you can take when a woman loses interest is to remove yourself completely. When she sees that you are a man who does not need her validation, she will feel the urge to chase again. And if she doesn't, then she was never truly yours to begin with. When a woman loses interest, your reaction determines everything. If you chase, beg, or try to convince her, you only push her further away. Women do not respond to words, they respond to emotions, and nothing triggers emotions like absence. The strongest move is always to walk away with confidence. Let her feel your absence. Let her realize your value on her own. A high-value man never waits around for a woman to decide if he's worth it. He knows his worth, moves forward, and lets her come to him. If she doesn't, then she was never the right one. If you're looking to take a deeper dive into these concepts, join my Podium community. Link in the description. It's packed with powerful insights to help you master your masculinity in today's dating world. Stay strong, stay focused, and protect your power. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.